Hello and welcome to everybody on my YouTube channel Cloud Fitness. So today we are going to talk about different methods through which we can add a new column to a SpicePark data frame. So whenever we are dealing with the data, there might be a requirement where you want to have a column with a default value, or you want to create an altogether new column where you can put some calculated value. So in that case, you will need to think of a way to add a new column in your PySpark data frame. So today I'll be discussing the four methods. The first one being using Spark native function. So when I talk about Spark native function, we actually have to import SQL.functions package embedded in PySpark, and we have to use dot with column along with that package. I'll be discussing more about this. And then the second method is using Spark UDF. We are going to see how we can utilize Spark user defined functions to achieve the same. And similarly, we have Pandas UDFs for same, and using SQL also I will show how we can add a new column to a PySpark data frame. So let's go ahead and see how using Spark native functions we can actually add a new column to a PySpark data frame. So when I talk about PySpark SQL.function, it is a package that you have to import. So I have already written a command here, import PySpark.SQL.functions as F, and I'm going to use these functions while adding a column. And to add a column, I will be using dot with column command. So let's run this first. Rest of the commands I'll be explaining in a bit. And now I have this data frame created. I'm creating this data frame. I'm reading a CSV file which is present in DBFS, having a separator of comma, and my header is present. So I've kept here header equal to 2. So let's create this data frame. I'm running this command. In the meantime, in case you have to know more about this PySpark.SQL functions, you can go to apachespark.org, where you have this full source code for this package. So you can see here source code for PySpark.SQL.function. So using this whole source code, you can actually check what are the different functions which are present in this package. So now my data frame is created. Now if you open this, so I have these 5 columns: sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and the species. I have these 5 columns in my data frame. Now let's try to add one more column, which you can say might be double of petal length, right? So for that, what I have done here is I have created a new data frame, df1, and how I have created it. I have created it using the above data frame, which has 5 columns. Then I have used the command with column here. Now inside with column, I have actually mentioned the name of the column that I want to create. So let's say I'm creating a derived column. So I've named it as derived column. And this is basically the expression of how I want my derived column to be, right? So what I want is this column should be derived from petal length column. So I have taken the previous column of petal length, and I just want it to be multiplied by 2. So for that, I am keeping 2 here and this symbol for the multiplication. Now when you talk about the call, so this is the function which I have imported from Spark.SQL.functions, right? I have imported this column from there, and using this column I'm actually fetching petal length from my data frame. So this is how it actually works. So let's run this and see how it works. Yeah, so now it ran. So now you can actually see that I have another 6th column named as derived column here, which is actually double of my petal length. So here it is 1.4, and you can see here 2.8. Similar way, you can see it is 1.5 here and 3 here. So this is how you can actually create a derived column using the with column, and your Spark.SQL.functions, which has actually a lot of functions inbuilt. You can utilize any of those functions in your data manipulation work. Now I will also show you in case you want to, add a default value, how you can do that, how you can add a default value to a new column altogether. So for that you have to use a literal function, which is actually spelled as lit function. So lit you can say see here. So this lit function will actually take a constant value, right, which will be the value which you want to return. So similar way, what I have done here is I've created another data frame out of my very first data frame that I have created. In my very first data frame I had 5 columns. Now again I am using with column, and I'm mentioning the column name for reference as constant value column using lit, right, and then comma, and this is the expression. Now in expression what I'm doing, I'm using a literal, right. Now in the literal I have mentioned a constant value of 1.33, and then if I do df.show, I'm running this command now. Now you can see a column with a constant value is already created here. So this is one method where you can actually create a column with your constant value. Now in case you say that you want to have a null value here. So if you want to have null value inside lit function, you can just put none here. So the moment you put none inside the literal function, you will actually see that my new derived column has actually null values. So this is how you can actually add a extra column to your data frame with a specific hard-coded value, or maybe with a null as well. Now again, just for the reference, I would actually show you one more thing. So in the beginning, the very first thing that I showed you is from pyspark.sql.functions, I imported f. So I imported that package. Now from that package, I used column function, right? Column function from where I was actually taking the column. I imported the column function. Now in the same way, I'm using exponential here, exp. So using this exponential, what I'm trying to do is I'm taking the column of petal length and getting the exponential of that petal length, and I'm creating a derived column out of it. So let's run this command. Now you can see the derived column value is actually exponential of your petal length here. Now for more clarity, let's copy this exponential, and what I'll do is I'll go to the source code. Now if you see here, this is the source code. Let me zoom it a bit, right, that will be much better. Now if you see, this is the source code. In this source code I will have an exponential function. So this is the function. Inside this package we have this function def exp. So and now in comments you can see it computes the exponential of a given value, right? So it has computed the exponential of the column which I have mentioned there. So likewise, if you want to go and you can cross check from there also. Similarly, like you have multiple functions in this package: float, log, log10, log1p, multiple functions. It's a very long package, so in case you are interested in that, you can definitely go ahead and check what all functions are available there, so that you will have a better command over the functionalities here. So now let's go back and we will discuss now on how we can add a column using Spark UDFs, right? So guys, when you talk about Spark UDFs, so once you define those UDFs, that can be used in, those are basically reusable functions which can be used in different data frames, in multiple data frames. And, they take, you have to specify the return type for those user-defined functions as well, and there is a particular way of creating Spark user-defined functions. So when you talk about Spark user-defined functions, you have to create it using f.udf function. So when I say f.udf function, f is the package that we have imported in the beginning. So from spark.sql.functions. So that is the package which I have imported as f, and from that package I am using .udf function, right? So this is how we do it in a gist, but now I'll show you how it's done. So let's create a data frame first. So I am creating this data frame 1 from spark.read.csv. So this is the path of my file, and when you talk about the schema, I am using the schema that I have mentioned here on the top. So all these things I have mentioned in my previous video on Spark data frames. So I do recommend going there and watching that video as well. So in case we have to define a schema while reading the file, so this is how we do it. So I have defined the schema that that my file, it has actually these columns and these are the data types, whether they are nullable or not. So those kind of details I have mentioned in the schema, and I'm defining the schema at the time of read only. So this is a data frame that I have created. So let's run this. Now you can see that my data frame is created. Now what I'm trying to do is, since I'm trying to create a user defined function, I have a function here, right? So this is a function. I have named that function as test, and this test function actually takes in a value. If that value is equal to setosa, then it is going to return X, otherwise it is going to return Y. A very simple function I have created for the demo purpose. So in case like while creating a new column, if you have some complex logic involved, then you can try and use this way of creating a new column. So all these different ways have different use cases as well. So in this particular one, you can add any kind of reusable complexity as well. Okay. Now when I talk about creating a user defined function, I have created a user defined function UDF test here. In that I am using F, which is the package that I have imported from the package name is from pyspark.sql.function. So that is the package name. From that I am using this UDF, and inside that UDF I am passing my function. So this test is the function which I am passing inside that UDF, and that function is actually returning a string. So the return is string type, and by default also the return type is string only. Now how to use this? Now I'm creating another data frame from my base data frame. So my base data frame I created in the command just above this, data frame 1. So with column, I'm using with column. I'm naming the column, I'm naming my derived column as derived column 3, and then this is my expression. So what is this doing is, it is going to UDF test, it is going to a user defined function. So user defined function I have created here. I have created this user defined function using f.udf. Now it is going to that user defined function, which is taking input of species. Ignore the spelling of the species. It is taking the input of species, and this input is coming from my data frame. So if the species is setosa, then it is going to return X, otherwise it is going to return Y. So like that, this is how it works, and I can actually go ahead and run this command. So guys, this is how it works. This is how you can actually create a data frame, create a new column, a data frame with a derived column using your Spark UDFs. So now let's go ahead and see how we can do the same thing using SQL. So guys, before moving on to the SQL part, I think I should mention this thing as well. So in this particular function, I have mentioned the value as setosa. So when I say setosa here, my S is capital, right? And when you see species here, it is small s, and that is the reason it is returning Y. So the moment I turn it to small s and then I run it, it should come as X. So you can see here, this setosa is now coming as X. So this is basically case sensitive. So remember that point. I think I should have told it. So now using SQL. So whenever you are trying to create a new column using a SQL, so what you can do is you can register your data frame as a temporary SQL table, right? And all these things regarding register temp view, register temp table. So all these things I have already mentioned in my previous videos regarding data frames. I do recommend watching them. Now when you talk about using SQL, I have my data frame created already. So I had this data frame created above where I had like 5 columns. Now I want to add one more column, right? So I am registering my data frame as a temp table, temporary table, right? I think everybody is aware of temporary SQL tables. So the name of my table is temp table. I've mentioned the same name, and then I'm creating a new data frame using spark.sql, and inside that I have written select star. So I'm selectively taking the columns. That's all. I'm using select star. I'm taking all the columns, and then I am additionally taking one more column, 2 into Peter length. So Peter length is the existing column. I'm just making it into 2, and I'm deriving it as a new column from that temp table, and then simply I am showing it. So you can easily see how it works. It's pretty simple. Now you can see the output here after running. So I have this new column, so I gave the alias as new call here, so that is why the name is new call, and this is Peter length into 2. So all the values are basically Peter length into 2. 1.4 into 2, 2.8. Similar way, 1.5 into 2, 3. So that way you can do it using SQL as well. So now let's move ahead and talk about Pandas UDF, how you can create a new column or a derived column using Pandas UDF. So for that, I'm creating a data frame here altogether. So these are the columns which I've mentioned in the list. Okay, so this is another way of creating a data frame. Now this is the column. These are the columns which I have mentioned in the list, and this is the data which I want to put in my data frame, which is having this column, these columns of sequence number and names. And what is the data? 1 John, 2 Tracy, 3 Amy. So this is basically the data which I'm trying to add to the data frame. So my data frame, I'm creating it using spark.create data frame. This thing is also, I have mentioned it in my previous video, and inside create data frame, I am mentioning the list of data which I want to add, and I'm mentioning the schema. So I'm mentioning the data as well as I'm mentioning the schema. So what is my schema? Schema is nothing but the column names, right? And what is the data? Data is this list, right? List of array, where actually I'm trying to put in my data. And now if you do df.show, let's run it and see how it works. So when you run it, you can actually see, let me zoom it more. You can actually see how my data looks like. So my data is sequence number and name, and this is the data frame that has been created. So let's go down. Now I'm creating, since I am doing it using Pandas UDF, so I'm creating a function, a very simple function. I haven't done nothing fancy in this function. Def uppercase. So I just want to convert the name into an uppercase and create a new column out of it. So this uppercase is the name of the name of the function that I've given, and that will take an input of string, and it will convert it into upper. So let's run it. Now let's go to command 19 and see what it does. Now I have this UDF, Pandas UDF, uppercase UDF. This UDF is actually taking a lambda function. Now what this lambda function is doing is it is taking a parameter, an argument z, and it is for each argument z, it is going to the function uppercase and doing whatever this and giving us the input of this function, right? Output of this function. So I think everybody is aware of the lambda function. Those are nothing but lambda functions are just another way of writing a function, a one-liner function you can write through lambda. So if you talk about the normal way how we create a function, the similar way the same thing can be done using a lambda, but lambda is like a one-liner statement and it does not have any name. So there is no name of this function which you have defined here. So this lambda, what it is doing, it is taking an argument z, and for each z argument it is running this above function and it is returning a string, right? So this is my Pandas UDF and uppercase, and I have named this UDF as uppercase UDF. Now how I'm adding a new column here. I'm using df.with column, and this is the name of my column, which is new name, and then I am this UDF which I have created, this user defined function uppercase UDF. This is actually taking in a argument which is name, which is a column named as name. So I'm adding name here, and then I'm just trying to show here. It is actually very simple. So it is doing nothing. It is just running directly, taking the UDF and providing the name or the column which is being used by the UDF, and using with column it is adding a new column named as new name. Right now you can see the sequence number, the previous column of name, and the new column of new name with this uppercase has come up here. So this is actually how you can add a new column to a data frame. So just quickly to revise, I'll go up. So the first way that we have seen is using Spark native function. So when I talk about Spark native function, we actually have to import a package, PySpark.sql.functions package, and using that package and using with column, we can actually add a new column altogether. That column can be a derived column. That column can be, you can have a null value added, you can have a default value added. And when you talk about Spark UDF, then again you actually have to convert a user defined function to a Spark user defined function. If you go back again here, let's see again and quickly revise that as well. So when you go to this Spark user defined function, this is how you actually convert it into Spark user defined function, because you have already imported the package of PySpark.sql.functions. From there you are taking the UDF, f.udf. Through that you are actually converted it into PySpark UDF, and then you are actually using with column and converting it and adding a new column. Similarly, you have your Pandas UDF. So Pandas UDF you can directly use. You don't have to convert it into a Spark UDF. Directly you're using your user defined function, and you can also do it using SQL. So when I say you are doing it as SQL, you actually convert it into a temporary function. Let's go ahead and see how we have done it to quickly revise it. So we are actually converting it into a temporary table, and then we are just querying over that temporary table. So this is what I wanted to discuss in today's video. And I hope you people like this video, and you people must be implementing all these things whenever you start working. You will be actually implementing these things when you start working on Databricks, or when you have already started and when you are actually working on Databricks. So do let me know anything in the comment section if you want me to make video on some other topics as well. Thank you so much.